Hello everybody, Talk here, and today I have a new deck list for you. As an actually new and not just a old one that got support. It's Volcanics. Now, you're going to use the skill here, just so you're all aware, is Blaze Accelerator Deployment, the one that lets you count a Blaze Accelerator as a Tri-Blaze Accelerator. So we are running Doomfire. This is just a guarantee we can have Doomfire, and I'm just telling you that right now, so you're looking at the deck and understand that in the back of your mind as to ratios. This particular deck list is taken from the Shadow Games, which apparently is a tournament cycle down in Central America. I don't know actually offhand. This got posted in Speed Duel Leagues. And this is the second place deck piloted by, and I'm sorry if I screw this up, I'm going to try my best here, Misael Benitez. I do not feel confident at all about your first name. I feel far more confident about your last name. Anyway, this is his deck. As you can see, I didn't change anything. I left it exactly the same. So let's go over all of the cards. Hilariously, this is not a banlist deck, despite looking like a banlist deck. It works shockingly well in both contexts, though you might want to change the side deck a little. So we've got two DD Warrior Ladies, and a Rota to search the both of them. She's just removal in a deck that has a lot of removal, but hey, more removal. Two Volcanic Doomfires, because you can summon two of them. Volcanic Rocket, the heart and soul of this deck. It's amazing. Two Shell. We don't have space for three, so shave the shell down. It's fine. Two Blaze Accelerators, because, you know, you might open it, and that's good. I mean, the Accelerator in a shell is fine. One Tri-Blaze, because you don't want to have to use the skill if you don't have to, and Tri-Blaze is just better than Blaze Accelerator. It has just less everything, which is quite nice. Triple Night Beam. I love Night Beam. I actually prefer Night Beam to Cosmic Cyclone. I mean, there's times where I really want Cosmic Cyclone, but 90% of the time, Night Beam does everything I want and more, because you can't change shit. I must harp on this as a guy who played Reaper. This card is nuts because of that. In Reaper, Threatening Roar overtook Saku almost immediately because it was chainable, entirely because of Mobius. Just pointing that out to everybody. I'm not saying Grand Marg is suddenly coming out of nowhere, but, you know, Wabaku exists. Just saying. Two Floodgates, because it's Floodgate, and it's great. It's just Book of Moon, but permanent. And then you get Windstorm of Ataqua. It's been a while since we've seen this one, hasn't it? Still a good card. I mean, it's perfectly fine. Does everything you need to do. It keeps you alive, and that's all I'm asking out of it. Side deck, simple stuff. It's two Sphere Karibo, a Michizuri, double Cosmic, and one Wall of Disruption. In ban list, I could see changing this around a little bit. I'm not sure if I'd keep Michizuri in here. I don't know. I'd be curious to see how often he sided this or Wall in as a singleton. I'm not certain why he's got the ratios the way he's got them. I would imagine it's for 2 to replace the Warrior Lady and then 1 to replace the Rhoda, so they, like, pair it or something in his mind, or, you know, whichever one he needs. I mean, Michizuri's fine, because sometimes you just open up a shell and nothing else, you have to set something. So setting a Michizuri alongside it's fine. Alright. We're going to go into a replay, and I'm going to tell you right now, I literally built this deck about an hour ago, and I've played 2 games with it, and this is the first game, so I'm going to do some dumb shit. But I've already learned a lot in my 2 games that I lost. And I lost them basically entirely on my own fault. But I've learned a lot, so I want to impart this knowledge to you. Also, just a lot of discussing things in the thing. So I'm up against Ursus, who's playing Cyberdarks. And Ursus has been playing around with Cyberdarks for for a bit now. And Cyberdarks are good, by the way. I'm probably going to make a deck list on them once I finally settled on them, but I want to be a little more confident. I pretty much just kind of jumped into Volcanics here, which isn't fair to Volcanics. But honestly, just figured I'd let you guys know that I'm going to make some dumb plays. Now, I want to talk about this opening hand, though. This opening hand is amazing, but I sat here for a while trying to figure out what the hell to do, because I wasn't certain. Do I just set the shell and let him go, or do I go for the aggressive route and go with rocket? I'm still not positive, but I did decide to go with rocket on this one. Because I wanted the search. And then I grabbed Tribody's Accelerator, which is fine. And then I just passed turn because there's nothing else I can do. I have nothing to set. And then Ursus is just going off on their turn. Which is a nice set. And more sets. Which is why I'm happy I have Night Beam. And here's the big boy. The really, really big boy. Oh my god, the big boy. This is fabulous. Do not do what I am about to do. Okay, do that. That's fine. That's blind night beaming is totally okay. Don't do this, though. Well, actually, I guess half this plan is fine. Doing this is okay. Because I actually do go through... Yeah, I go through the whole thing. I pop it. I do all the explodies. It's great. I don't activate shell here. Largely because I forgot I can activate shell. I'll own up to that. I will 100% own up to the fact that I forgot I can activate shell. That is my own damn fault. Just letting you guys know that one. It wouldn't have changed anything, but it is my own fault, and I'm not certain if I wanted to do it. You don't have to. That's the thing. Remember, just once per turn at any point, you can activate that. You can just put the shell in your hand. You don't have to do it immediately. You can wait a turn if you want to. Just letting you know that. So, he gets burned, and then I just shotgun Doomfire. And that happens. He is a floodgate magnet. So, rule 1 of Volcanics, if you're playing Doomfire. Do not shotgun Doomfire like I just did. Because I also forgot I don't get a battle phase. I'm a little embarrassed about that one, but I was like... I tunneled hard, and then I got floodgated, and then I got a little... I'm not going to say I got tilted, because that's wrong. I got knocked off kilter. Because I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, okay, I've already popped the back row, we're probably fine, and then that happened, and now I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'm just kind of screwed here, aren't I? And I then attack, and he reminds me that I cannot actually attack. Which is, yeah. And I knew immediately. The moment he's like, well, you can't attack, I'm like, oh, right, derp. Because I over-focus. Don't over-focus. Remember, there's a lot of stuff going on. And you can't attack. I'll be honest. We know that was probably overkill in advanced, but in here, not being able to attack the turn you pop is probably necessary. Because otherwise I had game on board immediately. You can see that. I would have done ridiculous amounts of damage. Now this is actually a really fine opening for me. Until I eat another floodgate trap hole. And this is where you find out something interesting. Volcanic Rocket is terrifying. I'm not joking. That card is amazing. It's a 1900 Dingus, and there's not a whole lot that can contest it, because most people don't run 1900 cards as a normal summon in their deck. Now, he activates the skill, and this all goes really bad, because he's getting an edge to hand. And, yeah. There's now an edge in hand. And there's a cannon engrave. Or not cannon, sorry. Claw. There is a claw engrave. My god, if they had cannon. And, yeah, now there's a 2400 Dingbat. And there's nothing I can do about that. This is why I said the shell didn't matter. Because I do not have a card to save me. And, this kind of just keeps going. Yeah, we put this on fast forward. Yeah, I just pop it. It's another Cosmic. And, there's another one. And I'm not dead yet. I may have a way out of this, theoretically, but I don't. My last draw was a shell. Now, let's just get out of that. Now back to this. You can, of course, see I screwed up a lot in there. This was not great. However, I didn't do awful. My biggest mistake was I just shotgun Doomfire. I should have waited another turn. He probably would have popped it, but that's fine. Because the Floodgate still sits in the back. And then things would have played out a fair bit differently. I also should have paid for the shell just to get the shell out of the deck. The Doomfire would be sitting in hand with a shell. I'd have 2 cards in hand. He doesn't know what one is. That's fine. I've got a rocket on board. I can keep up offensive pressure. There's really nothing he can do to stop that until he activates the skill to get the... Hello, puppy. Until he activates the skill in order to get his Cyber Darks. And that's the thing I'd be worried about Cyber Darks. They can kind of just come out of nowhere and start beating you over the head with 2,400 dinguses. So be cautious about that one. But the thing I like about Volcanics here is I felt good both games, despite playing like an idiot. I mean, I pretty much just played push-button turbo. And honestly, game 2 was a lot better than this one. This is a deck that has a, honestly, I would say reasonably low skill floor. Reasonably. It's easy to understand the basics of what this deck is attempting to accomplish. I mean, if you're not a complete idiot like I am and just playing like a moron. But it's a good deck. It got second place. I feel this is a very good deck, actually. And honestly, I don't think I'd change all that much. The only thing I would change here in the side deck is I'd probably ditch... I don't like Wall. I get why people play Wall. I get why Wall is really good. This is me and Chain Ability going on again because everyone's on Cosmic. So I'd almost go with a Labaku instead. But I'm not going to say no. But the big thing with this deck that I feel I would learn as I keep playing it, and I feel you guys will all learn as you keep playing it, is exactly when to drop this big bastard. Because you don't need to drop him right away. I mean, you saw it. I had full control of the field for quite a while with just Rocket. I didn't need to sit there shotgunning crap. Which is why he had to go for the direct attacker, because he didn't have a way out of this. And I have outs. I've got Windstorm. I've got a Floodgate that gets me out of that situation. And this is why I should have had the shell, because then if I had drawn a Blaze Accelerator or another Rocket, I have a way out of the situation, because Floodgate does not stop me from getting the search. So I could just search another Blaze Accelerator, pop the edge that's already there with the shell in hand, and I'm good to go for at least a little bit. I've bought myself more time. The loss of Try sucks, but that's what the skill is for, so I can actually use this card. And now I'm just rambling. But I hope you all have enjoyed this deck profile. I like the deck. I'm going to play it more, and I'll probably come back with a more revised deck later for my personal preferences. But I feel this is a very good baseline to start with in Volcanics. There's also a burn variant I saw floating around where you'd kind of sub out these and the Warrior package for 2 Nightmare Wheel and a Zoma. And then I think... It's 5 cards, yeah. And then it was like 2 Spheres, I believe, as the other options. I thought that was interesting. It was kind of an aggressive burn deck that kind of let you just come out of nowhere, which was interesting. I might give that one a shot and see which one of these I prefer more, but I have to definitely get more games under my belt with this to get properly comfortable. But with that being said, if you guys liked the deck list, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. You feel free to make fun of how bad I played that game, because I fully admit that was a terrible game. And I hope your games with Volcanics go better, everybody. With that being said, peace out. I'll see you all next time.